Crafty Kendra, and today we're going to be making this really simple Valentine's Day card. And it uses the new Create a Cupcake stamp set along with the Build a Cupcake punch. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to need is your card base, and our card base is made out of real red cardstock. This real red cardstock is cut at 5.5 by 7 inches. Scored at 3.5 to give us just a slightly smaller card than standard size. The next thing that we're going to do is take the heart-to-heart punch, and we're going to punch out 6 of the medium-sized heart here. And after you punch all those out, you're going to take your Big Shot machine and your polka dots embossing folder, and you're going to go through and you're going to emboss all of those hearts so they have these little polka dots on them. Go ahead and flatten out your card base, and we're just going to put them on there just to get a guideline of where to stamp our greeting, because we're going to be wet embossing our greeting on there today. We're just gonna put those there. And our greeting comes from the Filled with Love stamp set. We're going to use the Be My Valentine, and this is the clear mount set. It's available in both clear and wood mount. We're going to use our Versamark pad and just ink up our stamp. And then starting about the bottom of our heart, we're just gonna stamp Be My Valentine. Now, I did use my embossing buddy ahead of time to make sure that it wouldn't be staticky whenever I pour my embossing powder over it. So we'll just knock off those hearts, get out our white embossing powder, and pour some over top. And after we're done putting that embossing powder on there, we're just going to turn it over, give it a couple flicks, get all that extra off, use your brush if you need to. Then we'll bring our heat tool over. There we go. Now we have our little greeting on there and embossed, and just going to take and bend our cardstock a little since it warped a little while we heated it up to get it back to where it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and lay it out flat and just pile our hearts on there, and we'll go ahead and do some more stamping. The next stamp we're going to be using is also from the Filled with Love stamp set. And it's this great little heart. And what it does is whenever you stamp, it gives just, it stamps the outline of the hearts and then it fills one in. And we're going to stamp that on some pretty in pink cardstock. The same color cardstock as our hearts. And we're going to stamp it in real red. I want to get up, get nice and juicy. Go ahead and just stamp it so it's close to the corners. Lift up. Then you're going to take your Build a Cupcake punch and slide it in there so that the top of our cupcake, that would be the icing, has that little heart design in there. See? And then getting out our Create a Cupcake stamp set, we're going to use this bottom of the cupcake, and we're going to ink it up in our soft suede and stamp it onto the pretty in pink paper. And it's okay if it isn't full. I like the distressed look for this one. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our Build a Cupcake punch, line our cupcake wrapper up inside and punch it out. Sorry I made that look hard. I just didn't want the little pieces to go flying everywhere. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our little sponge dauber and dip it into our soft sweet ink. And then we're just going to tap over our cupcake wrapper to distress up that pretty and pink. Just like when you use a normal light colored cupcake wrapper and underneath you have a dark chocolate cake mix, how it changes the color of the wrapper. That's all that we did here by distressing it up a little. It makes it look like inside we have a chocolate cupcake. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start putting things onto our card. And we're going to put everything onto our card using mini glue dots. And we're going to go ahead and start with the hearts. I'm going to put one mini glue dot on each of the little heart bumps and then one towards the bottom. Alright, now I got all my hearts put on there and I've already put mini glue dots onto the back of my cupcake wrapper, and I'm just going to set it right above our greeting. And then I'm going to take our topper, which also already has mini glue dots on it, and put it on top of the wrapper. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some white grosgrain ribbon. We're going to lay it on our card to see where we want it. And then I'm going to mark the crease line with a dot with my scissors. Fold the card back up. And going from one dot to the other, I'm just going to cut a little slit in our crease line where our card folds. That way we have a little hole there. And then what I can do is I can just take my ribbon and pull it through the hole. And then I can tie a knot. And how you tie a knot is it's left over right, twisting the ends so that they come together. And then it's right over left, and then pull more with the left side, this side with the finger moving, and then pull the right. And then you got a perfect little knot. As you can see, my ribbon's kind of loose. If you don't want it to be loose like that, go ahead and just take the point of your scissors and grab a mini glue dot, stick it right underneath by the knot, and then push the ribbon down. And that one little mini glue dot will keep your ribbon better placed. You can always put in another if you feel like you need to, but that should be sufficient. The next thing we're going to do is take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this cardstock is cut at 5.5 inches, not 5.5, sorry, 5.25 inches by 3.25 inches. And then we're going to take this little itty bitty polka dotted heart from the Fill with Love stamp set and our Real Red ink and just get our little heart covered. We're just going to stamp one little heart at the bottom just to give it some interest. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip this white piece over and take our snail runner and just run a couple strips along the underside. Open up our card and match our white piece on the inside. And then we're done. A really simple, fast, and cute Valentine's Day card. You could always change out the greeting to be for an anniversary or just because I love you. And that's all I have for you today. Have a great day, guys. Bye.